Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know, if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high.
So it's been 5 minutes since I'm so nervous about this. What's up, my TBH family, and welcome to Tommy Bites Homestead. You are now on Tommy Bites TV. So y'all, first time doing canned meat. So what did I choose? The meal that I chose is chili because we love some good chili. Okay, so I wish I had a camera guy or girl, but I do not. So I'm starting off showing you my jars. I looked up and found some wide mouth pint jars. So these will process for 75 minutes. I was gonna use, these are pints also, but they're smaller. So I'm gonna try to use these right here. If I have anything left over, then maybe I'll put it in the smaller ones. Before I, well, go ahead and hit the like button. Help a girl out. So what I'm gonna do is, I saw this trick on RoseRedHomestead, and that is you cut the plastic off at this level. That way that plastic will keep that box more secure, and you can use that box again to store your stuff. I have some items in there that I'm washing up, and let's get into the video.
So like I said, I'm just gonna cut around it. I did this when I did my jams. Be careful not to nick the jars. And chili is a good thing to have, especially with the weather about to change up.
And if you get sick, you can't cook for your family, they can go in and pop a can of chili out and eat it over rice, or eat it by itself with some toast or crackers, however they choose. They can top it off with the cheese. And that's how we do that, and you have a nice sturdy bin. So I'm going by the chili recipe in here, not how they make it, but how I need to make sure that I'm doing things proper. And that's why it's good to have this ball preserved book. And then also in your manual for your canner, it'll tell you in here how many quarts you need, as well as how many tablespoons of vinegar you need to add to your pot. So for this canner right here, you're gonna add 3 quarts of water. And I've also greased around the gasket as well, and that'll help for getting the lid off easier. The jars, I have them warming up now with hot water. Over here in the canner, I took out those lids because that just wasn't gonna work for this thing, and I actually put that in there, which came with it, the rack. So that's where we are with that. As soon as the timer is ready, we'll be back and start ladling up our chili. This is good and settled down. We have about 4 minutes left on the clock before I start ladling. again, I'm processing. If you have to take out a little more, you can. And then what you're gonna do is, I'm just gonna show you the first two. All I'm gonna do is debubble, and that's to free up any air pockets in here and to see if I need to add any more liquid or take any away. I'm not gonna make y'all watch me do all of these jars. I just want to show you the first two. I'm going to, that one's definitely over. You can see the bell peppers and the onions in there. Inside of here, I have my vinegar. I'm gonna clean. I'm not gonna hold it over there because you don't wanna get vinegar in your jar. So you're just gonna go around the rim and the sides with the vinegar, and be careful because that jar is hot. You see how I got that off of there? Oh, there's two lids. I'm just gonna put that on there. Grab a ring, fingertip tight. Make sure that's lined up. And just go in fingertip tight, like that. Same thing with this one. And there you have 2 jars of chili all canned up. Now I'm gonna add them to my water bath canner over here. Water bath canner, my bad. I'm gonna add them to my pressure canner. I'm so used to saying water bath canner. To my pressure canner while I fill up the rest of these. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that pretty? And it's not even fully cooked. The meat is, but you know. You see how the water is not all the way up. You don't want the water all the way up. What you're working with is the steam, and that is what's going to give you great product. So I'm gonna fill up the rest of my stuff, my chili, and I'll be back when I get ready to go to the next step. Okay, as you can see, my Dutch oven is empty. I have 8 jars, pint-sized jars inside of my pressure canner. I just adjusted my heat to a medium-high, which for me is around a 6 or a 7. And then I'm gonna wait for it to vent steam for 10 minutes. I'm gonna put the weighted gauge on the vent. And then for my altitude, I gotta bring it up to 11 pounds PSI pressure. And I'll process my pints for 1 hour and 15 minutes, which is 75 minutes altogether, and I will time it. But I won't start timing it until I reach my 11 pounds of pressure, and then I'll hit my timer. Okay, so my pressure canner is now venting. I have it timed for 10 minutes. I have 8 minutes left before I can put my weight on there. And I'm already starting on my second batch of chili while that's doing that. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. Turn that off. So now I'm about to add my weighted gauge to it and bring it up to 11 pounds of pressure for me where I'm at. You need to check where you are. I caught my extension to make sure. And so that's where I'm at with mine. I'm on 11. Between 11 and 13 is my comfort zone. So let me get this on. That was probably the scariest part for me right there, to be serious. So now I'm just gonna sit and wait for it to get to 11. I'm still over here. I just added the onions to my second pot of chili that I'm doing because I gotta make sure I take some out for my daughter and cook it a little longer for her to eat, and then the rest I'm gonna can up. And I'll be back when this hits 11 pounds of pressure. Okay, I know it's hard for you guys to see it because it's hard for me to see it. But I'm at 11, I'm really at 12 looking at it. Because you can barely see it from all the steam. But I adjusted my heat so that I don't go up any higher than that. And so now I've already got it timed for 1 hour and 15 minutes. And it's time for pints. Now I'm about to reduce the heat. Well, I'm about to turn the heat off. And we're just gonna let this cool and calm down till it gets on 0. Right now it's still at 11. And then we'll let that get where it needs to be and I'll be back. I'm so nervous about this. They have been peeing the whole time they were cooling down. That look good. I'm all in camera. That looks really good. I believe all of them sealed up. Hooray! I am done, well, with this first batch. My first ever pressure canning session, and I believe it turned out just fine. They are hot, so I'm touching the lid, but they look so good. Let's see what time it is. It's 1:43 in the morning. I gotta get up and drive. So, okay, y'all, good morning. It is the next day. Well, I'll say next day because it was 1 something in the morning. I didn't go to bed until 4. Well, I didn't get done until 4 o'clock. And then I called my husband because he was up driving trucks. So we talked for an hour. So I didn't go to bed till a little after 5. It's now 11 in the morning. But let's get it out. And in this video, I'm sorry, my voice is going out. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm not getting enough sleep or something. Okay. It's still warm. But look at it, you guys. Isn't it? That's just so pretty. I'm so happy with how this came out. It looks really good. So what I'm about to do now is label what they are, because as you can see, I had done pears in this before. So I will be labeling. I don't have any of these anymore, which I don't even like those. I hate I put that on there. But I will clean these up, wipe them down, make sure they're, clean. Okay, so I've taken the rings off. Over here, I'm gonna have to give them a good little soak and wash. And so I was noticing my jars, inspecting them while I was cleaning them up and wiping them down and stuff. And now I'm about to label them. So I always check my jars and my lids, but sometimes, the eye, you don't see it. So I noticed when I was wiping this particular jar, and I'm glad it's this one because I didn't want to can my chili in these anyway because they're not wide mouth. But this will be the one I let my daughter have today, because even though all of them sealed, all of these sealed up perfect, I'm so happy. I heard them ping, 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 ping while they were cooling down. And I've tested all of them by doing the lift test. The suction is there. So, well, the seal is there. This one, if you can see, no fault of my own, but this one here has that little ding in it. The rest of them do not. The rest of them are fine. And, I'm thankful that it is sealed up. But this one right here will be the one that goes into the refrigerator for her lunch today. So y'all, this is amazing. I'm so grateful for those people that I've had the opportunity to watch and see how they do their homestead. I'm learning so much. I really encourage you to step out of what's comfortable for you. Step out and explore new things, and you just might like it, because I am loving it. You could not have told me February of 2020, before everything took place, you couldn't have told me that this is what I would be doing. And I feel so satisfied with knowing that I am storing away food, emergency supplies for my family in case of emergency. And that's exactly what it is, long-term storage in case of emergency. An emergency could be anything. It doesn't have to be what's going on in the world as far as COVID. It doesn't have to be about that. We live with storms that seem to strengthen and have more of them every year. And the fact that I know that I don't have to sit and wait for someone to give me something so I can feed my family, to give me a couple of bags of this or one bag of that. You see it on the news, or you know somebody maybe. They might not live where you live, but you know that, they were hit by a storm or whatever happened, they lost a lot of things. And truly, we could be hit by a storm, any of us, and we could lose what we have. So it's always good. I was listening to my girl Gigi Homestead, and she was talking about having a team and not trying to be a team of one. So important, so important. Even God had a team, is what I told her. Even God had a team. So who are you to say, I'm in it by myself? You cannot, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. You cannot be out here saying, team me, team me. I mean, you can. And you may know how to do plenty of things, but it's okay to have a team that you can trust. And I know, trust, that's a big word. I've been hurt by that. People let me down. That's because people are human. And you can't let one situation or two or three situations keep you from surviving. This is about survival. Having a plan. If, we plan to buggy in, if anything happens, if it storms, we plan to be here. That's why we searched for a home with a basement. But if we have to leave because of anything, storm-related or man-made, and some may argue that some storms are man-made, but we're not going to have that discussion today. Today, we are going to say to ourselves, I will store food long term, even if I'm not canning it, even if I don't feel comfortable with using the pressure canner. I had a fear, and thank God I did not stay in that fear, because I would not have what I have in front of me. I can 2 things in 2 days. It kicked my butt. I'm tired. My voice is going out. But it's more than I had before those 2 days. Now, if I can keep my daughter from eating it, and my husband, because they love chili, you know, that's why I did them in the size. It's the pint size, because I didn't want to do the quarts, because we need to be worrying about portion control. That's what I'm working on. 1, because I need to lose some weight. 2, because you need to condition your body for any kind of emergency and let it get used to having portion food. So thank y'all. I'm gonna get off my soapbox now, but I don't know, you know, I always, when I get up in the morning, I don't look at YouTube like I used to in the mornings. That used to be the first thing I did. No, the first thing I do now, because I had to condition myself to do it and it feels good, is to sit and either read the word or listen to the word. There are a couple of books that I need to get because I'm trying to better me. I'm not trying to be the catty Kathy, or, you know, I'm not trying to be that person. I don't want to sit and talk and gossip and all that other stuff. It's fun. It's fun. But you're taken away from what you could be doing. You can't get that time back. I'd rather spend my time nowadays, if I'm not talking to someone on the phone about food storage or whatever, I don't really care to talk, other than seeing how they are doing, checking on them and seeing how they are doing. If I don't call you, if I have your number and I don't call you, I'm going to at least try to text you once a month. That's my new thing now, to not be so busy that you don't notice that you haven't spoken to your friends, your family, people that matter, and not paying attention to your surroundings. Not paying attention to your surroundings. And that's me. I get busy. I don't pay attention to my surroundings. I don't. And things go lacking because of that. Now, I did a video. I'm sitting in the car, and while I've been here for a few weeks now, I'm just noticing I can see the mountains from across the street. But I didn't notice it until I was in the camera talking. And I was like, what is that? We need to try to be more one with ourselves and be who everybody's going to change. We're not going to be the same. Some people can say, well, you wasn't doing that last year, and what made you decide to do what you're doing now? Pay attention. You wouldn't have to ask me that if you're paying attention to what's going on in the world. You either gonna change or get run over and be that person wondering, well, dang, maybe I should have listened. Maybe I should have tried to get a few extra items. Everybody don't have to can. Everybody don't want to can. And everybody shouldn't can. Because when I read my canning book, it do call for a lot of salt. It do call for a lot of vinegar and all that other stuff. I'm not pickling anything because there's no way. That's just too much. You know, I can't do it. I have to now adjust how I am shopping. I will still get some of the items that I've been getting for my prepper room, but I also need to find those items that have no salt, and I can add what I need to add to it, because health is everything. Life is precious, and I always knew life was precious, and I've experienced death in my family before. I'm not just saying this because my brother just passed on September 10th while I was doing a live video. I had just been to my mom's house. And because I was so busy and not paying attention and not slowing down to preserve life, we preserve our food, but are we preserving how we live in? I went into my mom's house, and this bothers me because I got to live with that. I went in there and I was so busy that I talked to her real quick, ran to the bathroom, spoke to my brother on the way to the bathroom, but didn't stop to take one step. All I had to take was one step and peek around the counter, and I would have seen him sitting there. I missed that opportunity at the last minute, and I'm sorry, y'all. I don't think I talked about this with anybody but my husband and maybe one of my sisters. That last step, I could have seen him one last time. So ask yourself, what are you so busy doing that you can't preserve life and pay attention to the things around you? What are you missing? So y'all, go out, take care, be safe out there. Do what you need to do for your family. And just love life. And don't waste your time with petty things and petty people. If somebody not liking you, who cares? Somebody not feeling you, who cares? If you speak to somebody, they don't speak back, who cares? Because you're doing what you have to do for you. Let them deal with their own. They might be dealing with something. Let them deal with it. And in the words of my granny Karma, who I have adopted as my granny, like a lot of y'all, what someone does to you is their karma. What you do in return is yours. And I don't know if I said that right, but that's what I'm saying. Peace, love, and light. Thank you for joining Tommy Bites. Homestead.